everybody's favorite part in the drawing, the eyes. And with the eyes, I'm actually going to start on another layer. I'll tell you why in just a second. So we're going to start another layer, layer 3, and let us break down something about the eyes really quick. We're going to get this blue color and we're actually going to make layer 3 a little bit of a smaller brush, something like that. So with the eyes, like any animal's eyes, they're like spheres, you know, like a sphere. So with Raji's eyes, I'm going to indicate where the sphere is, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about, where it comes to the difference between the actual eye itself and his eye shape on his face. So this is where the sphere would be. Keeping that blue color. Nope, go back to the blue. This is where the sphere would be. Okay, same thing on the other side. Okay, but as you can see, his eye shape, the eye shape itself, is not showing his whole eye. It's only showing part of it, and that's because his particular breed of cat is what we called Abyssinian, and Abyssinian cats have almond-shaped eyelids. So even though his eye itself is a circle, he has an almond-shaped eye because of the way his eye structure is, his face structure. So let's go back to layer 2. Layer 2, working on layer 2. And make sure our brush size is just right. And I'm going to now outline the almond shape of the eye itself. So it's going to be starting somewhere, oops, get that red color. Somewhere like this, comes around, comes down, and let me actually move layer 3 under layer, there we go. So as you can see, it's sort of, and it comes down a little more. It's sort of almond shape, and layer, the blue layer is where the eye, you can see, if I go like that, you can see that the eye itself is circle, but his eye shape is almond. Let me move that back down there. Okay. Same thing with the other eye. Let's make sure we're working on the right layer, okay? Same thing with the other eye. It's going to be something like this. Maybe that was a little wobbly. Let's start over. Alright, you know what? Whenever that happens, I start from the other way. There we go. So as you can see, his eye is very much almond shape when we do something like that. Okay, let's move on to his nose. With his nose, there's a couple observations we're going to make here, but in order to do that, we have to erase some of these lines. I'll do that so that we can see. I'm going to erase all the lines except for this one. Okay. With the nose, we are going to outline the nose a little smaller. There's a line here that's very important, and basically it goes like that. In most cat noses, if you look at the difference, in the Lion King between Mufasa's nose and Scar's nose, Mufasa's nose is going to be something like, this is very rough, something like that. And Scar's nose is going to be something like this, comes up like that, goes like that, blah, 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 the line there. And what the artist was doing there is basically putting more detail on two different parts of a cat's nose. Technically, a cat's nose consists of both of these things. And we can see that with Raji's nose. Let's erase that. So, like Scar's nose in The Lion King, it does have a definite shape of, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like the seagulls that you used to put on a bird drawing when you're drawing like a seascape as a kid. That's what it kind of reminds me of. And then next thing is keep that red color. Under shape that kind of goes like that. Something like that. There we go. Little tiny candy nose. But we are going to indicate some more details here a little later. But we're going to have the line that goes straight through the nose, just like this. And let me make it a little straighter. Just like that, okay? And there we go. Basic indication of a cat nose. Now we're going to do the mouth. And most people, when they draw a cat mouth, they're going to do something like this. You know, 3 circles. You know, 2, I guess these would be like cheeks, sort of, and a chin. But that's not what I'm going to do in this drawing. We're going to start here with at the base of the nose. I'm going to go up like this and up like this. As you can see, his chin is actually not all the way down here. His chin ends somewhere right there. And that's a basic indication of where Raji's, where his mouth, I don't know what these two parts are called, but his cheeks and his chin. If we go to just view that layer, it gives us more of an indication of where it is when we continue the drawing, when we get rid of the layer in the background. Let's add it back on. So to move on, we've basically done Raji's face. Oh my god, this must look really cute without that. That looks really cute. Raji. So we basically have done Raji's face, which means that we can move on to the next part, which is going to be his body. Let's get rid of the writing. So let's add in that layer. I'm going to get rid of that layer for right now. And with his body, I like to think of it like a bag of flour. And what that means is, make sure we're working on the right layer here. Let's see, a bag of flour, something like this, then like that. You know, if it's leaning on its side, you know, it's kind of like hunched. It has a curve here. Maybe tilted. If we were to take, no, I'm gonna take this and like, whoops. All right, I don't know what I'm doing. Perhaps tilt it to the side a little bit. And that curve can be seen right somewhere right there. That's where his belly is going to curve in, and then it would come out like that. And you know, if this were a sack of flour, it would be something like that. But since Raji is not a sack of flour, we have to get a little bit more detailed. And that comes down to working with basic shapes. Let's start with his chest. With his chest, I can already see a shape here. I'll see if you can see it too. It kind of starts with the curve of his back here. But I see a shape that goes something like this. There's also another one here, and it's going something like this. So Raji's body shape in this point is made up of 2 circles. So let's see. Let's look at his whole body as an entirety here. God, he looks even cuter when I have the drawing over him. We might have to continue this. No, I'll do a little more. Let's see. So we have the body shape, we have his face. I see another shape here, and let's see if you guys can see it too. It's actually going to be a square. And a square because this is his front face, and you know, this is the part that is facing us. And then he has his foot here, and his shoulder blades here, tail here, thigh here, elbow. I mean, you could break this down as much as you want to as an artist. I don't know if it's going to be helpful, but hey, it might be. But I think we're going to end this Raji demo here for now. So again, we broke down his face, which was step 1. I'm just going to sign this off as Raji Demo 1, which is going to be his face. So thanks for tuning in. I really enjoyed explaining this demo to you guys, how I break down cat faces, and we can continue this probably tomorrow. We'll focus more on his body and then eventually move on to his markings and eventually getting rid of this layer altogether. So thank you guys for tuning in. Again, this has been Hannah Lee with the Raji demo, and we are working on the app called Procreate. And thank you to Steven for sponsoring this video. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.